statement by the Assistant Director of Army Public Relations, 3 Brigade Nigerian Army, Captain Babatunde Zubeiru, issued to reporters today. The statement disclosed that 2 gallant soldiers and 1 local vigilante lost their lives during the operation. It said the encounter followed a tip-off on the movement of bandits around Unguwa Tidu, Unguwa Samia, Gorundutse axis of Shanano local government area of the state at about 5 p.m. on November 1. Additionally, it said further operations are ongoing in the general area as efforts are being made to protect vulnerable communities that have been prone to cattle rustling from the bandits. The army urged citizens to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to the security agencies for prompt response. The commander, 3 Brigade Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Ahmed Tokoro, also assured law-abiding citizens of the Nigerian Army's commitment to maintaining peace and security in the state while working together with the sister services and security agencies. Meanwhile, still on the world news, at 6, Nigeria's top security leaders have entered an emergency session in Abuja following comments by former U.S. President Donald Trump suggesting possible military action in Nigeria. The meeting held at the National Counter-Terrorism Center on Monday was led by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. VOP News gathered that security chiefs and intelligence heads were present at the emergency meeting. According to senior government insiders, the agenda is to evaluate the security and diplomatic impact of Trump's claims and prepare a coordinated national response. Trump recently alleged that the Nigerian government has failed to protect Christians. He declared that the U.S. military could be mobilized to act in Nigeria to tackle Islamist militancy, sparking concerns across diplomatic circles and prompting urgent consultations in Abuja. Officials at the meeting are reviewing intelligence reports, discussing contingency actions, and reinforcing Nigeria's position on sovereignty. A top source familiar with the talk said discussions are centered on national security strategies and diplomatic engagement. Government aides have dismissed the possibility of U.S. troops entering the country without Nigeria's consent. Presidential advisor Daniel Bwala insisted that no foreign military can operate in Nigeria without the president's approval. After President Bola Tinubu rejected Trump's claims, Trump escalated his remarks, saying if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, he warned, before making further statement about military readiness and halting U.S. aid. The president responded firmly, stressing Nigeria's constitutional protection of all religions. He maintained that the country is a secular democracy where both Christians and Muslims enjoy equal rights. The president also noted ongoing security reforms since 2023 and appealed for diplomatic cooperation instead of inflammatory rhetoric. In a recent development, the Lagos State Police Command has declared activist Sowore wanted over an alleged plan to incite public disorder and block major roads in the state. Commissioner of Police Olondare Jimo announced this today at the Iyanowere section of the 3rd Mainland Bridge, saying the command is closing in on Sowore and others accused of coordinating activities aimed at disrupting the peace. According to him, intelligence reports indicated that Sowore and his associate plan to stage demonstrations at key locations including the 3rd Mainland Bridge, Lekki Tollgate and Freedom Park, a move he described as dangerous and capable of causing serious traffic chaos. He said 13 suspects have already been arrested in connection with the alleged plot, while Sowore reportedly fled. Investigations are ongoing to identify sponsors and collaborators. The commissioner noted that security personnel had been deployed across major bridges and highways to prevent disruption and protect infrastructure, stressing that freedom of expression must not endanger public safety. Let's take a listen to the Lagos State Commissioner of Police declaring Omoyele Sowore wanted.
At the nearest police station, I hereby, as the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, declare Sowore wanted. I declare him wanted for the act of causing disturbance of public peace and an act to commit serious felony. by planning and putting all the plan in motion to obstruct traffic on the Tommy Land Bridge, to cause hardship for Lagosians and other Nigerians, and more especially visitors who are transiting through this end. We will not allow this to happen. These are the equipment, and we ensure that we are closing in on him. Anywhere he is, he should be aware that we are closing on him. Williams is doing video and he couldn't come down. Let him come down. He came down in Abuja. Why is he afraid to come down in Lagos? He should come down. He should come down. Wherever he is, he should report himself to the nearest police station. Because I'm going to arrest him and investigate him and prosecute him. Thank you. We have made 13 arrests of this miscreant and hoodlum. Because there's no any reason why this protest must take place. The people who are concerned, who are residents of Olosoki, have been paid compensation by government for those who deserve, who are entitled rather to the compensation in the law. And the people have remained in peace and they've been living in peace in the community. But it's coming to Lagos to instigate crisis, to instigate violence will not be tolerated. And I want all Lagosians to still go about their local businesses without any fear or apprehension. Let him come down, let him put his leg on ground. He's riding in a vehicle and he's making video that police have covered everywhere and he can't come down. It's the same way police cover everywhere that I came down in Abuja. Let him come down here and you will see the wrath of the law that will equally be enforced on him. Thank you.
Still on the world news at 6, Bayelsa Governor Duye Diri has now made his move to the All Progressives Congress APC official. The governor formally joined the ruling party today, ending weeks of speculation and confirming his exit from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Crowds stormed Yenogwa as the event kicked off early. Supporters from different parts of the state arrived before dawn, some drenched from an early morning downpour, but still determined to witness the historic switch. By 8 a.m., major streets were already filled with people singing and beating drums in celebration. The Samson Siasia Stadium, venue of the ceremony, reached full capacity before 10 a.m. Security operatives later shut the gate, citing safety concerns as thousands continued to attempt entry. Many supporters in white-themed outfits and party colors remained outside, chanting and waving flags. Governor Diri, who dumped the PDP about 2 weeks ago, stood before party leaders and loyalists to make the defection formal. Party leaders praised the decision and described it as a major boost for the APC in the South-South. They also assured supporters that the move would bring development and stronger political alignment for the region. Governor Diri's switch and years of association with the PDP, where he rose to become governor in 2020 and secured re-election in 2023 before dumping the party earlier this month. You're currently tuned into the world news at 6, right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm now being joined by veteran reporter Mr. Dele Fanimo for the analysis segment of the world news this evening. How are you doing, sir? Good evening to you.
Good afternoon. This is not okay.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right, thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 6 this evening. Let's begin with what everybody's talking about right now, which is U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to come into Nigeria and save the Christians. And now Chad has shut its border with Nigeria, especially after the revelation that some of these terrorists who have made Nigerian forests their base are running into other African countries that border us. So can you really blame Chad for closing its borders? Can you blame them for sending their soldiers to man those borders and ensure that these terrorists do not make inroads into their own country? Would you say that is a sign of a country that is proactive about keeping terrorism away from its borders, away from its people?
You see, there comes a time in the life of a man, a country, a society that you have to push back and ensure there is sanity. And the time is now for Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, it's always unfathomable for me to see that foreign nationals are constituting themselves to a veritable threat to the continued existence of this country, and our state actors are handling them with kid gloves. It beats me hollow, and I feel extremely uncomfortable. Chad, what is the population of Chad? what is their level of military might that you hardly can find terrorists in Chad? Niger, the same thing. Mali, the same thing. And these are the Sahel countries that border Nigeria, apart from Mali. Cameroon, even in spite of its political turmoil, it's not a safe haven. Turji is originally from Niger. Now is sitting pretty well around Zamfara and Sokoto, Kebbi, and tormenting Nigerians and Nigeria. We couldn't do anything. Is it not a sad commentary? Now, when the going was good, when Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger were part of the ECOWAS sub-region, particularly Chad and Niger, they were formidable in the military joint task force that were repelling these marauders, these insurgents. But as soon as the military took over in that country, chased out the civilian presidents, and strengthened their hold in government, I've not heard or read any reported case of banditry or insurgency in that country. Now, they know that the heat is on. It is no longer business as usual. They will want to escape the heat. And they know quite well that when Trumps want to do certain things, he doesn't follow protocol. If he's ready to do it, he will want to do it. And he has issued this threat. And they know for real. And their sponsors would have told them that the game is up.
Would you
find your way?
Would you say the Nigerian presidency and the Nigerian security security agencies are treating these with kid gloves? Although we did get a report very, very recently, that was earlier today, that the National Security Advisor and the service chiefs are holding an emergency meeting over this threat right there in Abuja. Yes, they've come out to debunk that, Nigeria is not being plagued by Christian genocide. There is nothing like that. And that most of these terrorists actually target Muslim communities as well as Christian communities. But what many people are asking is, should Nigerians be dying at the hands of these non-state actors at all in the first place? So what do you think will come out of this emergency meeting? Would Nigeria finally take the war against insecurity as serious as many Nigerians want it to be taken?
You see, one good thing that the intervention of American President Donald Trump will bring is the fact that government will be more proactive this time around. Government will want to show might, and government will want to brush aside whoever is the sponsor, whoever is the collaborator, whoever is the financier, because they know the consequence of designating us as country of particular concern. The sanctions that could go with it, if there is no diplomatic rapprochement in the process, and it now escalates to the level of imposing sanctions, because sanctions could include military sanction by trying to stop aid and support, and Bretton Woods institutions, they are forever tied to the American government apron string. They might stifle us with the needed fund to do infrastructure and all that. So government knows the implication of all this, and I'm sure that they are weighing their options. At that meeting, they would have weighed their options and said, look, I think the best bet is for us to rout these people before American government comes around. Because there is no war without collateral damage. As they are waging war against these marauders, some civilians may be caught up, because area battle does not allow for escape. Once you are caught up in the firing line, so be it. And we've been playing the ostrich all this while. If Gumi can go to these people's den with our security apparatus, hold meeting with them, take photographs, do video, and they return back to their trench, that means Gumi knows where they are. Some other actors, state actors, they know where they are, they know their capacity, they know their capability, and it will be naive of anybody to believe that we don't have the capacity to deal with these people. But unfortunately, there is no political will.
What many Nigerians have been asking is, we want to know these people, we want to know their sponsors, and then many Nigerians are not happy about the fact that some governors, some government and communities actually negotiate with these bandits. We've seen situations whereby they came for peace meetings wielding their weapons, and after they were done, they left like heroes, with certain people in these communities, taking pictures with them, treating them like they were people who came
heroes
for good, treating them like heroes, actually treating them like celebrities. Would you say that this has actually fueled the information that is being filtered to the people on the international scene when they see that Nigeria seems to pamper these terrorists? There was it was about last month that Nigeria Mali came out to say, that they know some political bigwigs in Nigeria who are sponsoring insecurity, and they will let Nigerians know who these people are soon. They've not come out to tell us anything. Another question I asked them was, how come it seems that other people know the causes of our problems, but we don't seem to know the cause?
We only play the ostrich all along. If a non-state actor like Gumi knows so much about these terrorists, ordinarily they should have arrested Gumi by now and extract as much intel as possible from him. But they are doing none of it. It's like we now have two classes of people in Nigeria: the one that can be cut off, that can be dealt with, and the ones that are sacred cows. We have had too many killings that we need to respond. And is it not a disgrace that a country like Niger, a country like Chad, is pushing back terrorists who are originally part of their country, from their country? It's just a shame. We can't continue like this. It stifles development. It stifles growth. And for how long are we going to hold on? What we have deployed in our budget for defense, it's unimaginable. And over the years, in the last 18 years, Boko Haram had been around. And there is no let. We just pamper them, sometimes negotiate with them. Please remain in your camp. As long as there was a time a list came out where Toji was being paid 200 million naira, and that document was signed by some governors who are putting resources together to pamper a terrorist. Who does that? You might have as well advise Obama when he decided to take out Osama bin Laden that they should call him to a round table to come and discuss the future of American relations with the Arab world. Who does that? These are enemies of the state. You take out the enemy of the state. What is the Office of National Security Advisor doing? That look at the way Israel targets its enemies with precision. The moment Hamas or Hezbollah appoints a leader, in less than 2 weeks, they take out that leader. And when you take out the general in a troop, the troop will be in disarray for some time. And that is enough time for you to strike hard. Take out Toji today. Some of his followers will scamper all these leaders in their various cells, and they keep expanding. Once there is a fight, a faction will emerge from the existing one, and then it takes a life of its own and continue to kill. And nobody's intels will tell you that some people are in Nasarawa today, holding meetings and training. This training ground, are they training in Libya and being airlifted to Nigeria?
Would you actually blame those Nigerians who are happy about this development, who say it's a welcome development, those Nigerians who say in fact they want it to happen right now because they are not happy with the current administration or with the administration before this one? Or would you say it is ignorance that informs that decision? Because really, what right does Trump have to do?
The only area where I would disagree to some extent is Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and America should have waited for us to call for help. That's what.
But the
then
presidency has said it over and over again that we are winning the war against insecurity. So how do you expect them to call for help?
I want to say this too. In the light of what has happened and what has taken place in some other countries, Trump is somebody who doesn't join the fray without what is in it for America. What was and is still embedded in Gaza is the main attraction of Trump to this Israeli, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, Palestinian conflict. And he didn't miss words in doing that. Syria, look at what happened in Gulf War. It was because of the oil that made Bush Jr. to support Kuwait against Iraq. But Sierra Leone, that are people and Liberia, there are people that came back after being freed as slaves. When they went into civil war, America did not raise a finger. So we have to also be careful of the interest of the US government as headed by Trump. Trump is a mercantile. Trump is a deals man. At the heart of this, the target may be, let's take out these marauders, and then we'll now begin to negotiate on the mineral resources in Nigeria.
That brings us to questions on the international interference or intervention, as the case may be, in Nigerian politics. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is set to release a book tomorrow, 4th of November, and he's come out to give us insight into what this book will be about, where he spoke about how former US President Barack Obama helped to derail his re-election in 2015. He talked about how can a US president come out and make a video telling Nigerians to vote in order to open the next chapter, that was a signal of his support to the opposition. He said Obama was biased, Obama did not like him, and Obama just worked towards making sure he did not assume the seat of the presidency in 2015. From everything he's trying to say, one thing that one can actually get from there is he's saying that, look, this international support or not, as the case may be, ensured he did not win that election. So how does that international interference in Nigerian politics, how does it help Nigerians, or how does it benefit those who are interfering?
You see,
because we're seeing that come to play again 10 years later.
You see, there's no way you can run away from this reality. There are some powerful countries who show interest in a country that has mineral resources embedded in their land. That's one. Two, Obama is an advocate of same-sex. I don't know what they call it. Is it LGBTQ? He took it to Senegal. They refused. They turned it down. He took it to Tanzania. They turned it down. And he brought it to Nigeria. Even the Christian community turned it down. And because Jonathan himself was a Christian, he's a Christian, they felt that it's an insult on American government. That was why when Jonathan approached the US for armament, even when we were paying, it was declined. That same Tucano jet that we wanted to purchase at that time that Obama didn't allow us was what was sold to us as soon as he left government. You know, it was because of that that a cleric had to use his private jet to fly to South Africa to go and get such ammunitions and arms from South Africa. And through intel, they waylaid him, seized the jet, took possession of the dollars inside the jet, and the rest they say is history. So some of these people, they have interests, and to what extent you can resist their interest. Look at what is happening in the Sahel countries. France had held these francophone countries by the jugular, such that generations unborn will never be able to escape the stranglehold. Remove all these countries from France, France is nowhere. It has affected France. The exit of these three countries, Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali, has affected that country, France, because they practice policy of assimilation, deceiving them, believing that because you are a French former colony, anybody there is also French, which is a lie. It's qualified French, not French. So it's the same thing here. That's why I won't clap for this intervention wholesale. Yes, it is good. At least they are now meeting. They are now thinking of how to solve their problems. Fine. It makes it better. And I love it. But then, caution should be taken.
All right, then, while we're talking about that situation, let's quickly talk about what's going on in Lagos State with the Orange-Shoki demolitions. Sowore, human rights activist, some people are calling him a professional protester. And of course, the presidential candidate of the AAC in 2023 was on ground to protest with the people who felt that Nigeria and the Lagos State government had done them a grave injustice by demolishing their homes. We did see videos of homes being demolished in the middle of the night while people were asleep in them. We saw videos of the police, throwing tear gas to the people. On VOP TV this earlier this afternoon at about past 12 p.m. one of our correspondents was on ground to talk to the people who are victims of this demolition, and one of them said when the police fired tear gas, his wife, who was 8 months pregnant, inhaled that tear gas. She had an attack and then she died.
Really?
At 8 months pregnant. When you speak to Matthew, that was what he was saying live on air on TV at the World News, the 12 p.m. news on VOP TV this afternoon. And one would wonder, the Lagos CP has declared Sowore wanted, saying that he came to cause mayhem in Lagos and that 13 people they call suspects have been arrested with the plot to destabilize the peace of Lagos State by protesting. He also said that people who deserve or who are entitled to compensation have been paid. So anyone who's coming to protest on the Third Mainland Bridge, they are just there to cause problem. And now Sowore has been declared wanted.
You see, rather than go to the streets and cause mayhem, because Nigerians are bottled up and they want to vent their spleen any moment the opportunity comes up. For me, let these people, like you said, Sowore has become a perpetual protester, professional protester, and this is somebody that wants to become president. He has this mentality of Unilag, and he has not won himself from the Unilag days when he was a student union leader. And this is somebody that wants to govern this country.
You feel he's still moving like that?
Yes, he still has that mentality. And what has it taken him? His protest to free Kanu, can he assess it and say, can he beat his chest that protest has helped the cause of Nnamdi Kanu? It is high time the guy weaned himself off these immatured protests and do constructive engagement. Before you go into anything, why don't you find out from those who are victims or involved? Find out what is the level of engagement between them and the government and all that, and then come up with constructive. There's nothing. If he has gone to Alausa to say Alausa that he wants to meet with the governor, they will grant him audience, or the Speaker of the House of Assembly, they will grant him audience, and documents will be shared.
The people of Sowore have gone to the Lagos State House of Assembly. They were there, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? They told them, oh, write a petition and give to us. And many of them are now seeing this as just a strategy to disperse the protesters, to disperse people. And that protest could not even hold, because the number of policemen who were on ground to derail the protest were even more than people who were coming out for the protest. And then also last week Monday,
Are you involved directly?
There was a report of where...
No, are you involved directly that you know the number? Directly?
No, of course I'm not.
That the number of policemen.
Our correspondent went to cover this event, and they report back to us and tell us that this is what is happening. Last Monday, there were reports of, oh, there will be a protest. People were circulating.
I hope you know that I'm a veteran reporter.
I know you are, Mr. Fanimo. People were circulating reports on WhatsApp saying, oh, there will be a protest. On Monday morning, last week Monday, that was how the police went to...
cordon off the area.
Or the whole of Sowore, as if you want to climb the Third Mainland Bridge. And meanwhile, the Take It Back movement coordinator in Lagos told us that there was no plan to even protest on that day. So it seems the Nigerian police don't want to use their ear to hear protest at all. But to the extent of declaring Sowore wanted, they know where he is if they want to get him today. What's the purpose of declaring him wanted? Is that to make Nigerians feel that, oh, this is somebody who is criminalizing protests?
Well, I don't know what came about that. But the point is, the police would also have a reason for declaring him wanted. Maybe there are certain things he's planning. And don't forget that Sowore is, either we like it or not, has gained some traction in the public space. And what if in the course of doing this, something untoward happens to him? People will blame government. So in his own interest, I think he has done enough of protest. The court is available.
The court is available, as in who should approach the court?
Those who feel aggrieved.
But they've done that. There was even a court order to halt the demolitions. And the people who were doing the demolitions did not obey that court order. So whenever I would tell people, oh, head to the judiciary for justice, it's almost, they see it as if we are mocking them, because they say, look, they will not find justice with the Nigerian judiciary. Because even when the judiciary gives a directive, gives an order or a judgment, it's not followed. And there is no sanction for those who do not follow.
Well, for me, violence will not take the place of reason. I don't like when things become violent, because you may never know the casualty that it will take.
All right, then let's quickly talk about the Bayelsa State Governor Duye Diri, formerly defecting to the APC. Earlier today, his supporters came out en masse to support him. Many of them are happy to see him join the APC. In fact, Vice President Shettima was on ground to welcome him formally into the party. We've heard an APC chieftain tell us that by 2026, the APC will control 30 states. Would you say that this is what is actually happening? Although for about 2 weeks now, Governor Duye Diri had been partyless when he announced that, oh, he was leaving the PDP, but he didn't announce which party he was going to. But when Nigerians were just sure that it was definitely the APC.
I told you that this man is going. Adeleke is warming up
to leave
in Osun State
as well, and go to the APC.
Yes. Some elements in PDP in Oyo State have started crossing over to APC. You see, I said it, and I'll continue to say it. It is, people believe that maybe you'll be wondering, how can somebody defect from PDP to APC, the party they say they claim not to be doing much? The point is, the politicians are looking for survivor. They know, look at what happened last week to PDP. Would you want to contest on that platform if Anyanwu signs your form, and by the time you contest the election and INEC goes to court, or PDP goes to court and say Anyanwu's, anybody's form that Anyanwu had signed is null and void, and technically once the party that brought you in didn't recognize you as a candidate for them as a result of legal technicalities, you lose your election. Nobody wants to dare that. There is litigation over PDP. There is litigation in the Labour Party. So that's why some people are neither here nor there. And those governors, they want to come back for second time. So they have to find a way of making sure that the only party that is still on ground, even in spite of their problems, is APC. And that's why they are trooping to APC.
So basically,
it's not that it's self-preservation.
Nigerians can go ahead.
That's why you need not trust these politicians the way they are. They are not trustworthy elements. So it's not for you and I that they are crossing. It is to ensure that they don't sync with a party that is in ICU.
Well, in all of this, many Nigerians still just want to know that when they hold them accountable, they will not be told that they are making statements that are inimical to the government in power. Or whenever they call their governors to order or try to hold their governors accountable, they will not say, look, you cannot speak like that. And many people also say, oh, when you join the ruling party, all of your sins are forgiven. I think it was former SGF Babachir Lawal that described the APC as a haven for EFCC fugitives.
Which party is not a haven for fugitives?
But he specifically said EFCC fugitives.
EFCC. You know how many people's file that are in EFCC, that are now in ADC, that are now in ADC. Some of them, they ran away from PDP to join APC because they wanted protection from the ruling government. Politicians are the same in Nigeria. The only difference is platform and not political party, because there is no political party in Nigeria. Don't let anybody deceive you that because somebody is in ADC today, is a clean man. Somebody is in a Labour Party today, is a clean man. Somebody is in a PDP today, is a clean man. PDP ruled for 16 years. Some of these people that are now begging you to come and vote for them, were they not in the PDP that plunged this country to this mess? Some of them are in APC until last election, when they realized that their bread cannot be buttered anymore. They jumped cheap. Now they are pontificating. You want to tell me that if this man, Amici, had remained and won the ticket of APC, would it have become to another party? Tell me. So these are opportunists. You know the number of Labour Party senator and reps that have decamped. I've been sure they didn't believe in Labour Party, but because they saw the hurricane that Peter Obi represented at that time, they quickly bought the ticket, and the ticket was very cheap. The Okada rider in Southern Kaduna, that is now in House of Reps, when he was given 160 million naira card, did he reject?
All right, then you would just hope that would make Nigerians see that a lot of the politicians they stick out their necks for are not actually sticking out their own necks for Nigeria.
In fact, they are not even sticking out their fingernail. Not to talk of finger.
We hope that when the next election cycles come around, Nigerians will vote wisely. We have to go, Mr. Fanimo. We have to go. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 6 this evening. It's always a pleasure. Whenever we get to have these conversations. You have been listening to World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. We heard that Chad has shut its border with Nigeria over U.S. threats. Nigeria's NSA and service chiefs hold emergency meeting over Trump's military threat. Lagos police declared Sowore wanted, and Bayelsa Governor Diri officially defects to the APC. And that is a wrap on the World News at 6. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good evening and thank you for listening.